My name is Amy and welcome to this video. So today I'm going to be talking about utility warehouse. So chances are, if you've clicked on this video, someone close to you has reached out to you. Maybe it's via Facebook, maybe they sent you an email, maybe they gave you a call telling you that they have this amazing business opportunity for you. You can make money from home, you can make money from anywhere. It's so easy. You don't have to do anything. I find that a little bit suspicious personally. So today I'm going to be talking you through utility warehouse. A couple of disclaimers before I start. The first one being, I am not affiliated in any way with utility warehouse or any of its competitors. I am personally not in any MLMs and I never plan on being in any MLMs. The second disclaimer is all of the information in this video, unless explicitly stated otherwise, has come directly from Utility Warehouse's website. All of this that I found, all of the graphs, all of the weird recruitment tactics, all of that has been found on their website. They have published it all for you to see. It is there to sell the business opportunity to you. I will just be going through the information and interpreting it for you because a lot of it is very coded. It's heavily coded. To most people, reading through everything that they put makes absolutely no sense. And also, as I'll explain later, shockingly difficult to do. So let's move on to our first point, which is, what is an MLM? According to consumer.sd.gov, which I'm assuming is an American website, multi-level marketing, in brackets MLM, or network marketing is individuals selling products to the public, often by word of mouth and direct sales. The main idea behind the MLM strategy is to promote maximum number of distributors for the product and exponentially increase the sales force. Utility warehouse is slightly different to what they're describing because, and I saw a distributor posting about this online, the difference between utility warehouse and most other MLMs is utility warehouse doesn't offer a product, they offer a service. But the idea of promoting the maximum amount of distributors is absolutely demonstrated within Utility Warehouse. They are constantly pushing the business opportunity. They are constantly telling you to talk to their partners. They're constantly doing all of that all over their website. That's what an MLM is. So why do I have a problem with this? The thing with these sort of recruitment-based schemes is after a certain point, you run out of people. If you're constantly being told to recruit more and more and more people, and everyone that you've recruited is being told to recruit people, and everyone under them is being told to recruit people, and so on and so forth, after a certain amount of levels, you exceed the population. Another YouTuber that I watch quite a lot, Hannah Alonso, I'll link a few of her videos in the description because I'm going to be referencing her quite a bit in this. She has used like a spreadsheet to demonstrate how, you know, if you're having to recruit 2 people each month, you exceed the population after about 8 or 9 layers. I'll put in editing the actual number. It's also an issue to me because a lot of the times in order to recruit people, they'll use dishonest tactics, they'll use manipulative tactics as well. And it's all just very bad? I can't really think of another word for it. I'm just not a fan. I'll really outline exactly why as I go further into this video, specifically dissecting Utility Warehouse. I'm sure another one of the big questions that you may be having is, what is Utility Warehouse? So, according to
Wikipedia,
Utility Warehouse is a multi-service provider based in London, England, that uses multi-level marketing to obtain customers through independent distributors. It is a brand name of its parent company, Telecom Plus. We'll get into them later. It currently handles over 886,000 customer accounts with the help of over 60,000 independent distributors. 60,000. Oh god, that's a lot. That's what Utility Warehouse is. They offer you utilities. One of the big selling points is they'll offer package deals, which they claim to be the cheapest utilities in the UK, which, if you're using the MLM model, I find that very hard to believe. The first thing I've got to mention is the unethical marketing practices that Utility Warehouse promotes, something that is on their website. Admittedly quite difficult to find. I'll insert a montage here of the process it takes you to get to this page. You could argue that they're trying to suppress this information because, you know, they're aware that it doesn't make them look the best. but at the same time, it's on their website. It is possible to find. This is the marketing tactics that Utility Warehouse wants you to do. If you were to join their company, for you to get customers, this is what they want you to do. So, first, build a long contacts list. Just get a notepad and jot down the names of everyone you know. Friends, family, colleagues, members of sports teams, neighbours, parents at school, etc. Then start thinking about who to contact first. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most important things you can do when you join the business. Making sure you have a healthy pipeline of potential customers is the key to enjoying steady earnings. What I read from that is they want you to look at every single person in your life and view them as pound signs. Oh, Claire from work, she's been talking about having dodgy Wi-Fi. I can make money off of her. Oh, Dave down the road, he's not happy with his water company. I can make money off of him. All of these people, everyone in your life is suddenly going to become money. You're basically being told to dehumanize everyone around you and view them as potential prospects rather than as individual people. Back to Hannah Alonso, she has a series called MLM Horror Stories, and a lot of people in those horror stories will talk about how, you know, someone from a very long time ago reached out to them and said,
"Hey, do you want to go to a cafe and get a coffee? I'd love to hang out with you."
And then they arrive and they're being pitched a business opportunity or being asked to buy a product that they don't want. And it's incredibly demoralizing for the person who's being sold to. And it's also not great for the person who's trying to sell the products, because after a while, everyone in their life is going to view them as, oh, they're the one who's trying to sell me Utility Warehouse. They're the one who's trying to sell me this thing. People tend to not like being around salespeople, admittedly, because they're annoying. But especially if you're being told to specifically target family and friends, after a while, your family and friends aren't really going to want to talk to you or necessarily spend time with you, because they won't be able to trust that you're not trying to sell them utilities again. At the end of the day, if you're trying to make this business work, if you're trying to genuinely make a large amount of money, this is what you're going to have to do. You don't really have a choice. And especially if you have an upline that is constantly telling you that you need to get more customers in order for them to rank up. We'll get onto that later. This is only one of the tactics that they tell you about. I haven't even finished, and it's already this bad. Focus on homeowners. Not only do you receive a bigger bonus for signing up a homeowner, but they're also more likely to be a UW customer for more time, meaning you'll also get more earnings in the long run. Once again, reiterating the point of everyone around you is a money bag. Use them like cash cows. It's not nice. The next thing that they have is always follow up. Oh my god. Learning to take no thank you in your stride will help you massively as a partner. This I'm going to genuinely praise them for putting, because a lot of the time people in MLM sort of trying to get customers or recruits will not take no as an answer, and they will harass you till the end of time because, you know, they want to get rich. They want to achieve what their uplines have achieved, because a lot of the time that's what they're being told they can do. You can become wealthy. You can earn as much money as possible. Some people might not be interested, and that's okay. But others, it might not be the right time to switch. I completely take back all the praise I just gave them. Oh my god. Keep a list of people who are no for now. They often change their mind in the future. So, a lot of the times, people, when they don't want to sound rude, will tell you, oh, now's just really not the right time for me. Oh, I'm not in the mood to do this now. Not now, maybe later. Because they don't want to just say no outright, because, back to the original point, a lot of the times, you're a close friend of these people. They know you personally. And telling them no can be incredibly difficult. This was a black screen. But these tactics prey on the fact that saying no to somebody you care about is incredibly difficult. And a lot of the times the people who are roped into these schemes, these money-making schemes, are themselves incredibly vulnerable. I'll put up some video of Utility Warehouse's website. They have entire pages of every single career that you could be a part of, why Utility Warehouse is good for you, how you can earn extra money. It's people giving their own personal testimonies that Utility Warehouse has gotten them out of debt. to help them pay for their kids' clubs. It's all of these great things that they are specifically targeting people who are in poverty, less well off, working class, etc., etc. These people are incredibly vulnerable, and you know, if you know someone personally in a situation like that, you're going to really sympathize with them. So just outright telling them no may be too difficult for some people. So them encouraging you to, you know, essentially harass people who have said no, not right now to you, it's a horrible business practice. These people who have said no for now might really have actually meant no, period. And Utility Warehouse is deliberately preying on that. They're deliberately preying on people who maybe have social anxiety, maybe struggle to say no in certain scenarios, maybe they're just incredibly polite, a people pleaser. All of these things is causing you as a consumer to maybe make a decision that you otherwise wouldn't if you weren't put in this high stress scenario. And also, if you are constantly being harassed by somebody that you know, constantly being asked, when are you going to consider joining again? Are you going to join? You're going to join? After a while, you might just get fed up and say, okay, I'm just going to join to shut them up, get them off my case. They rely on you being fed up, worn down, just feeling like you have no choice. It's not nice. And most importantly, always remember that for every no, there are plenty more people who will jump at the opportunity to save time and money on bills. Okay. Remember, you're not asking customers to buy something they're not already paying for. You're just offering to switch them onto a better alternative, which will save them time and money. I'm gonna make a little caveat that I wasn't gonna make. Utility Warehouse is owned by Telecoms Plus, and I'm specifically gonna talk about their Wi-Fi. I feel like it's a really good example. I'll put up a little graphic on the screen. So, you were approached by someone who's been recruited to Utility Warehouse, which is owned by Telecoms Plus, who buys their Wi-Fi or broadband or whatever it's called from BT. So this partner or distributor or whatever you want to call them has gotten you to sign up to their services. If your Wi-Fi clogs out, your broadband's not working, etc., etc., you go to that partner, they can't do anything. They know nothing. You go to Utility Warehouse, oh, sorry, we can't really do anything. We'll take you to Telecoms Plus. Telecoms Plus tells you, well, we can't really do anything because it's owned by BT. You go to BT, they say, you're not directly a customer of us. So you've got to go back to Utility Warehouse, wait for them to contact us, and then we'll sort out the issue. Because there's so many middlemen, or middle people, or middle companies, you, the customer, are going to get a horrific customer service experience. From what I read, Utility Warehouse's customer service was under fire from, I think, Ofcom. I'll put in a little correction if I'm wrong. They were forced to change it. Their customer service was horrible. I have a little bit of a personal testimony as to the quality of their customer service. So, yeah, I find it hard to believe that you have better quality utilities just by your Wi-Fi from BT. God. Look after your customers. What this will translate to me is just harass everyone that you know constantly, even if you've already convinced them to buy utilities off of you.
Apologies for the poor audio quality. I forgot to record the segment title. So, up next we have Utility Warehouse's transparency issues.
One aspect of transparency that I found ridiculous was trying to find the partner terms and conditions. Calm. I'm going to insert yet another montage of how ridiculous it is to find the partner terms and conditions. Oh, and that's not all. The first time I tried to find this terms and conditions page, probably around a month ago, the partner terms and conditions were not even on the website. I clicked the terms and conditions link and it said 404 page not found. I now know that they were updating it, but surely they could have updated it like behind the scenes and then quickly switched it out, because I checked this page multiple times in the span of a week and it was like that for a week, which is horrific considering I don't know how many people signed up without having access to the terms and conditions, which is scary to me. Surely they as a company should know better than to do that. I did actually check the legality. You do not technically need to have terms and conditions listed on your website or in any contract. However, not having them makes you very open to being sued. So it's just kind of common practice. If you don't have your terms and conditions, you can be sued. The terms and conditions weren't there, so I couldn't read them. I decided to go back to show off the fact that I can't find the terms and conditions. Terms and conditions showed up. So I had a little read through the terms and conditions, and most of it was pretty bog standard. It was 36 pages, by the way. I've never been more bored in my life. But there was one little clause that I saw, and I'll insert a picture on the screen. This really shocked me. What it basically says is that if you recruit somebody, if you send Utility Warehouse a letter, within 7 days of you recruiting them, that person can then be officially, by Utility Warehouse,
moved into your downline's downline.
Why is this an official procedure? This is something that commonly happens in other MLMs, because a lot of them within the compensation plan, you will need to have people under you who have people under them. Usually aren't an official procedure, but the fact that Utility Warehouse has it as an official procedure is, to me at least, incredibly concerning. Whilst, yes, they make it as difficult as possible, as if they don't want you to be doing it. But if they didn't want you to be doing it, why would you even have it as an official procedure? That's the issue that I have. I just think that's really weird.
Okay, something I forgot to mention that's in the same clause, which I'm shocked that I missed, is that once recruited, a partner cannot change their sponsor under any circumstances, ever. If a partner resigns and subsequently rejoins within 12 months, they will always be placed under their original sponsor position. So that means that if you leave the company and rejoin, you haven't done anything. You haven't done any recruitment, and you just get to reap the rewards of the people that you just so happen to have recruited beforehand. All of their hard work. And you just get to take all of the rewards for yourself after having done nothing. I just think that's so bad. And I also can't believe I missed that.
Another thing that was interesting about these terms and conditions is the compensation plan. This document referenced the compensation plan God knows how many times. I'll put in a number and everything. Not once could I find it. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. I decided to contact Utility Warehouse's customer service in order to get a copy of this compensation plan. If I had known how this was going to go, I would have recorded it, but I didn't. Hindsight is 2020, whatever. I didn't really want to email them because I wanted the documents as soon as possible. And the thing with sending them an email is it might take a week. And I didn't really want that, so I thought I'm going to call up their customer service. I call them. The first thing they ask me is,
what's your account number?
I don't have one of those. So I hung up.
Bruh.
I spoke to my dad a little bit and he was like, oh, just let it ring out. It sometimes assumes that there's somebody there but doesn't know what they're doing, so it'll just take you straight through to the next menu. Took his advice, it worked. It took me to the next menu, which was,
Who do you want to contact?
and it was literally anything but what I wanted. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to apply the knowledge that I already learned. I'm going to ignore the man and what he's saying and just let it keep going. I just hung up.
Bruh.
I spent 15 to 20 minutes doing that just for it to not work. So I eventually caved. I sent them an email that went along the lines of,
hello, my name is fake name. I'm interested in becoming a partner, but I can't seem to find a copy of your compensation plan. Could you send me that? Thank you. Kiss, kiss.
and I got an email back from them. Ta-da! They told me to talk to a partner. Also, they spelled local wrong. 10 out of 10 customer service, guys. Thank you so much for answering my query by just telling me to talk to somebody else. There's no way that they don't just have a copy on hand. They must have access, being the company and all. The fact that they're hiding it suggests that it's not very good, or a little bit interesting. So, I may not have been able to find a compensation plan, thanks utility warehouse. I did, however, find this. This is the closest thing that I have to a compensation plan, and it basically outlines what each tier can possibly earn and what they need to hit said requirements. I don't know what percentage of their downlines they're making. That would all be disclosed in the compensation plan, which I don't have a copy of. So we're going to make do with what we have. This is you if you were to join utility warehouse. If you have, C stands for customer. If you have 3 customers, that makes you a qualified distributor. This can earn you up to, according to utility warehouse, £750 in the 1 month. Okay. To become a qualified distributor, asterisk. To become a qualified distributor, star. You will need not 3 anymore. No. You need 6 personal customers and 1 partner. I'll put a P on that one. 1 P. This can earn you, according to utility warehouse, up to £1,250 in the first month. I'm going to be honest, I do not trust these numbers whatsoever. I'm assuming they are giving you the absolute maximum you could. I think they're assuming that you're selling utilities to people who live in mega mansions so that they can inflate these figures as much as they can, because they specifically put potential earnings. They could literally put anything there. They could put anything. So to become a senior qualified distributor, get rid of that. Oh, that looks so bad. SQD. To become a senior qualified distributor, you need these 6 personal customers, 12 group customers, and 2 partners. That means, if we're doing the maths very evenly, that means that these people need 3 customers each. And it says that in month 2, because I think they're assuming that you can't reach this within month 1, you have earned up to £1,200 in your second month. I'm just going to say this now. This is incredibly unattainable. The chances of each of your downline managing to convince 3 people each to buy questionable utilities, it's not happening. Usually, in these kinds of schemes, it's easier to end up recruiting people who themselves have customers than it is to recruit the customers yourself. So you'll notice later on, the higher the numbers get in terms of group customers, it's basically another incentive to continue recruiting people, whether that be your downline recruiting or you personally recruiting. Just the more the merrier, because it makes it way easier for you at the tippity top of this triangular shaped business scheme in order for you to rank up and potentially make even more income, which is being said on their website, to become a future team leader. To become a future team leader, you need the same 6 personal customers, 25 group customers, and 1 qualified distributor. I don't know if this means qualified distributor asterisk or just qualified distributor, but I'm going to assume that it means qualified distributor asterisk. So you've got your that means that they have 1 person under them, and they also have 6 personal customers. So that means you've got 15. In order to get to 25, which is what you need to rank up, you need 10 more. I'm assuming by now, to make my maths easy, we'll give you 10. It's about 16, 17, 18, 19. I'll give you 1. 20. Give you 5. And then give you 3. Oh, that was awful. But this is just what they've outlined. This is what you need, approximately. I've made these numbers up. It could be anyone on the suspiciously triangular shaped business scheme could hold the customers.
According to Utility Warehouse, if you are a future team leader, you can, in month 3, earn up to £1,250.
Now, to become a team leader, this is the highest rank that they tell you how to achieve. They don't tell you how to achieve any of the other ones, which is odd. It's odd that they're not disclosing this. It comes back to my point about transparency. Everything about this company seems to be shrouded in secrecy. I'm very much struggling with knowing what's actually going on. To become a team leader, you need 10 personal customers, you need 50 group customers, and you need 3 qualified distributors. You're no longer a P, you're a QD. So that means that each of these people needs somebody under them. So, and for the 50 group customers, right now we've got 25. Oh my god. We're just going to assume that each of these people has 5 each to make the maths really easy. No, that's only 15. I can't do maths. I can't do maths at the moment. Give me 6 maths easy. We're up to 30. We're up to 30. We need... Oh my god, why is my brain not working? 20 more. 20, give you 10, 19, give you 5. 14, down to 14. Give you 4, just because I don't want to do maths at the moment. And then we're going to do a few. So that's 10. I'll give you 5. And then give you 6. So, as you can see, this is completely unattainable without more people in your team. The 10 personal customers is already a little bit ridiculous. Imagine trying to convince 10 people to switch utilities companies. Yeah, no. The high volume of group customers, like I said, is a big incentive to recruit more, because it will make achieving those group customer quotas far more achievable. It makes it far easier for you to hit if you have more people working towards the goal of, I guess, enriching you and also potentially themselves. Because also, I'm not taking into account the fact that these people might want to be you. So these people are also going to be recruiting even more. So it's going to end up looking, you know, more like that. Or maybe even bigger with maybe this person is doing even better than you. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. That's what that looks like to me. So it's a bit awkward. Anyway, back to chalkboardless Amy. That makes no sense. Okay, I hope that enlightened you. So now we're just going to get on to some of the more silly things. This is stuff that I haven't found on their official website. I'll link it all down below just so that you can see the sources I'm getting them from. So I'm going to be talking about the UW Mini. If you know, you know, and you will know eventually. In this, I'm going to be comparing it to Mary Kay, which is another MLM, and their Pink Cadillac program. So essentially, if you reach a high enough rank or hit a certain amount of criteria, you are eligible for this magical car. It's a pink Cadillac. It's really bougie. You have the Mary Kay stickers, but it's not gaudy. It's a nice car. It's a Cadillac. The real kicker with it is they don't actually give you the car. They make you buy the car in your own name, and then Mary Kay, in this example, will send you a certain check each month in order to pay off this car. However, there's a slight caveat, which is that they only send you the check if you keep on hitting the same rank. So that's assuming that nobody quits. You are keeping up with the quotas of how many people you want to recruit, keeping up the quotas for how many customers, etc, etc. Almost every single MLM car program is the same. They won't just give you a car, they give you a payment to go towards said car. And the problem with these car schemes, or these car bonus schemes, which are, you can opt out of them if you don't want to do it, which is the better thing to do, because ultimately you're putting yourself into debt by doing it, and also it's incredibly unattainable. The reason that they do these car programs is a form of attraction marketing, which is essentially if your distributors look like they're rich and have everything, that they've got all of this because of their company, that's incredibly appealing to you. You see that they have all these incredibly expensive cars and houses and everything that you could possibly want, and they're telling you it's because of the company that they're a part of. So typically, these car programs, it will be an incredibly nice car. It will be a luxury vehicle or just like really bougie. Usually there's some element of like advertising. Sometimes it's just a car and it has to be in like the company colours. So after explaining all of that, I present to you the UW Mini. It's so ugly. Okay, I showed this to my friend who's not into emblems or knows anything about emblems whatsoever, and I showed it to him and he burst out laughing. I was like, look at this, and he was like, dead. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. Imagine going into debt for this car.
Okay, so I thought I'd drop in here to substantiate my claims about going into debt for this car, and I'm using this website called piggy.biz/utility warehouse mini. I don't know if this site is owned by Utility Warehouse or if it's owned by a distributor, but it is very clearly like in favour of Utility Warehouse. It's very much like a covert advertisement. I don't personally know who's behind it, however I trust the information. I will say it's from 2014, so it's a bit older. However, I highly doubt that they've changed the car program that much. This website is comedy genius. It is so funny because it describes it as, if you are reading this, you may have seen Utility Warehouse minis on the road. These are white BMW mini cars subtly adorned with pink pigs and other brightly coloured graphics. Subtly adorned! In what universe is this subtle? I just stopped laughing. So this is what you need to do in order to qualify for the car. You must have received £175 ongoing commission per month on average for the past 3 months prior to applying. You must gather at least 4 gold status customers, any customer who takes at least telephone and broadband in the calendar month preceding your application. You must have achieved at least team leader status, very straightforward and entirely achievable within a few months. The record is 2 weeks. Here's where it talks about the payments. The Mini is subsidised by Utility Warehouse head office and is effectively an interest-free HP loan with no credit rating requirements. Utility Warehouse pay extra commission bonuses for basic activity, gathering gold status customers and recruiting partners for the first 5 years that you own the car for. It is, in theory, possible to qualify for the Mini and pay nothing for the 5-year duration of the HP agreement. In practice, this rarely happens. However, it can be heavily subsidised with the right level of activity. There is a final payment requirement at the end of the 5 years, as is the case with many HP car agreements. It just outlines exactly what I said. You take the car out in your own name, they give you a cheque to go towards the car. However, if you don't hit the requirements, you don't get the cheque. But you still have this ugly ass car that you have to pay for, so you have to basically dig into your own pockets in order to pay for it, rather than the company giving you the money. It's super scummy.
I will say, however, Utility Warehouse does do a car scheme that doesn't seem like an absolute scam and a way for you to get into debt, which is the Porsche, which I think, if I can recall correctly, requires you to have 100 or 200 personal customers, which is obscene. You get to basically drive around in this purple Porsche for like a month, and then they take it back off you. It's like a company car, and then they let you borrow it, and then you give it back to them at the end of the month, which I think is actually like a decent reward. You get to have fun with this luxury car, and it doesn't put you into debt, so you're paying. That's the UW Mini, which is so silly and goofy. Another little thing that I found while doing my research about Utility Warehouse, because I realised after a while that like I could not find any like really like negative reviews about this company. All of the sort of negative reviews, well, not negative reviews, but sort of like clickbait things as, is Utility Warehouse a scam? They were all being made by distributors. And then I stumbled across this blog, and I'll link it down below because it was really, really funny to read. And it was this guy complaining about Utility Warehouse, and it was so funny. But he said, and this is very much unconfirmed, but I personally believe it. He said that basically all of his bad reviews he ever left for the company on these sites like Trustpilot, or I can't think of any other ones, but were being mass reported and taken down. And he said in his article he assumes that it was being done by distributors, and I also assume that because they have a vested interest in the company looking good because they're selling their services. I just thought that was really funny, and I implore, is that the word? I implore you to go and read the article. conclusion, do I think you should join Utility Warehouse? Absolutely not. Just everything about it is scummy and also hilarious. I can't get over the mini. I hope that now, after seeing this video, you'll have a more informed decision, because at the end of the day, if you go and join Utility Warehouse, that doesn't affect me at all. I'm not making any money from you not joining, I'm not making any money from you joining. The only thing that I really get from this is the personal satisfaction of knowing that I have potentially saved someone from joining what is, in my opinion, a scam. In fact, I'm actually £5 in the red from this video on that chalkboard, and if I can be asked for funsies, I might set up like a PayPal or a Ko-Fi or something. So if you want to contribute to me no longer being £5 in the red, it will be in the description. And I genuinely want to like thank you for doing the research before joining a company like this. It's an admirable quality to be able to research the things that, you know, maybe someone close to you was telling you about, and it's good that you were able to take the time and research for yourself. All of the sources will be in the description. I will link each individual page, which is going to take forever. I just want to thank you all so much for watching. If you really enjoyed this video, please like it, comment down below any of your thoughts, and also if you know of any other companies that you think I should cover because they are particularly scummy or just interesting, just please comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this from me, feel free to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Okay, goodbye. Is that my t-shirt? Microbiologists do it with culture and sensitivity. I got it in a charity shop for £1.